Yeah, I tell my students that that's actually how I start off the course, is looking at reference and what is reference and where does it come from. And I kind of start off telling them, like, well, it comes in many different shapes and sizes. And so there's video reference where you're looking at yourself, but it could also be a still image, that inspires you, or a painting, something that where just in one image, the emotion's there, the attitude's there, you can see the weight, it's like it's all there in that one thing. So I was like, that can be, that could be reference. Music oftentimes can be reference. The rhythm and the timing of the shot, the pacing, how it flows, and I use a lot of musical terms. Like in animation, musical terms kind of go hand in hand to help describe things, because we're describing movement, and so there's rhythm to it, and something could be more staccato or hit harder, or it could have a more melodic flow to it. So you want to get that in there because you don't want everything to go boop, 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 and be even with your timing. So often when you're describing it in terms of music, and they'll go, oh, okay, yeah, it's mixed up a little bit. Yeah, you mix it up. So I tell them music can be reference. Photos, drawings, I tell them to draw, like thumbnail. I'll shoot reference, and then I'll still draw to it too, because I want to get the detail from my video reference, look for the acting choices, and look for the mechanic stuff that I wasn't thinking about. But I also still want to keep the graphic nature to my work. So I'll do that drawing, and I just want to find that one drawing that goes, okay, that's it. That's the emotion I want to get across, and then I'll go, okay, so if I can tell the story in that drawing, how do I elaborate on that in the animation? So maybe then I'll film kind of based off of what I was feeling or thinking from the drawing. So it all kind of goes together, and you use a lot of it. It's not just like one thing that you're going to grab. You're going to get, it comes from multiple sources. Definitely, life experience. Part of like showing them references, like get them used to analyzing stuff and getting out there. And I was like, it's going to change your life. I always tell them, you become like Sherlock Holmes in a way, where you start to see things that no one else sees. As an animator, it changes the way that you see the world. You could be standing there staring at just somebody waiting in the line at the DMV, because it's amazing. Like, look at all these little weight shifts that he's doing, and you can tell he's getting angry because he's maybe putting his hand on his head, or he's rubbing his head. So you can start to see these little things that no one else is picking up on. You can see these emotional shifts a lot quicker. So I'm like, you want to get into that mindset. Like, that's how you are. You're a detective that's analyzing life. And you're experiencing it all around you. So use your own experiences, get family members into your work. I did that recently. One of the characters I'm working on, he goes like this in a shot, and I'm like, oh man, that's my dad. I just animated my dad in that shot. So you can kind of pull those things, and it'll read to the audience better. It's something they can attach to. And I don't know, one of my favorite things is, I know it references back to an older movie, but in A Bug's Life, when they're traveling out to the ant colony, the walking stick character is going like this as they're flying through the air. And I was like, that's what I used to do. I used to stick my hand out the car window as a kid and do that. And it was like, it really helps the audience attach to the characters. So I bring up moments like that to tell the class, like, that's what you want in your work. If you see something in the reference that you shoot, or you see something in a still or something, or there's a memory that you have that rings true, and that'll ring true to everyone, that's what you want in there, because they want to be able to connect to the character somehow. Oftentimes we're animating things where it's really hard. Like, it could be a bunch of squirrels and trees or something like that. Now, I'm not a squirrel, I've never been a squirrel, but you want to get something in there that's familiar to them. Maybe a squirrel behavior that you can get in there that people have seen, or a human behavior that you can see a squirrel doing, and then that helps bridge the gap and helps the audience connect to the characters a lot more.